Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. Today is gonna be part one of my, last haul of the year. But before I show you the fragrances I bought, check out my little Christmas tree. How cute is my little tree? I have it up on my mantelpiece, well, for the video, but usually I have it up on my shelf. I haven't got a proper tree yet, but I will. But I'm filming this, it's November 22nd, so yeah, and check out my little ornament. Happy alcoholidays, dreaming of a wine Christmas. It's my only decoration so far, but more are coming. My friend got this made for me last Christmas, so that's a really nice gift. So thanks, Julie. I love this ornament. And speaking of alcoholidays, my wine of the night, because you guys always ask me to do what my wine of the day or wine of the night is. This one's Julia Florista, and this is a really inexpensive Portuguese wine that I absolutely love, and it's really good. I've been really enjoying Portuguese wines lately. I like a dry red wine, so for me they work perfectly. They're good, and they're inexpensive, and they actually have some depth, and they give you that little, you know, that feeling that I like from a red wine. Anyway, all that aside, let's get into the super duper exciting haul. And make sure that you guys stay tuned until the very end, because I'm gonna give you a little bit of a sneak peek on what's going on FRAGRANCYBUY.CA for their Black Friday sale. So that's super exciting. And let's get into the haul. I've been hauling for a while. I just wanted to save it all up until the end of the year. So I actually haven't really worn these, but I got them in the fall, and they're from MAC. So this is Velvet Teddy, and this is Turquoise. Velvet Teddy, I'm sure if you guys have heard of this fragrance, you already know that it smells a lot like Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. And it absolutely does. It really does, except it's more honeyed. I don't want to spray it because it is very strong. But yeah, they bear such a strong resemblance. It's a pretty good dupe. It's really affordable, and it's a little bit more feminine leaning because of that strong honey note. It actually reminds me of something between Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille and by Kilian Back to Black, except it's not as powdery as Back to Black. I actually really like it, and I'm excited to wear it this winter because I feel like this is like a super cold weather fragrance for me. I can't wear something this heavy and sweet unless it's really cold out, but it's beautiful. The Turquoise is like a really nice aquatic fragrance. It's interesting, it's unique, but it also kind of reminds me of like a Calgon body spray if you made it a really well refined fragrance. Like, it's well done, it's a really nice scent, and it smells like summer, and not in that beachy suntan lotion way. It's actually a really nice aquatic fragrance. The packaging suits it really well. The scent inside is very well reflected in the packaging. So I love this. It's really good, and I have worn it a couple times, even though it was already a little bit too cold for it. I think I really enjoy lotus in fragrances because I know it has lotus, and I find that note common in a lot of like aquatic-y light fragrances that I like. So maybe when the weather gets a little bit nicer, or when we're heading towards spring, I'll do my favorite aquatic summery fragrances, or maybe before if I'm really craving a vacation scent. Next, I have a couple fragrances from Yves Rocher, which I used to buy a lot from, and I stopped, and then I was like, why don't I order from them? I needed new body washes and stuff, and so they had these, and they looked really pretty, and so I wanted to check them out. They had like a sale on. So Sable Fauve is a sweet benzoin vanilla. It has labdanum as well, supposed to give it more of a leathery scent, but really it's a very cozy, rich benzoin smell. It's very pretty. I'm just gonna spray it in the air. I got the hand cream as well. I love how the hand cream smells. This is definitely unisex, so for guys looking for something a little bit more rich and sweet, and if you enjoy vanilla benzoin type scents, if you like for example, Givenchy Pie. I'm not saying this is similar to Pie, but it's in that vein. Really nice fragrance and super affordable. So I was really impressed with this. It was a total blind buy, and I'm really happy with it. And yeah, so that's Sable Fauve. And then the other one that I got is Cuir de Nuit. And this one I got because it has a note of coffee in it. And I like the name. Like, I thought it would be leathery smelling. It's not leathery smelling. This one has a pepperiness to it. I can't really get the coffee note in here. Like, this one's not my favorite. It's all right. It's almost more of like a peppery vanilla, and if anything, this reminds me a little bit of the Lalique Le Parfum that I have, except that one's a little bit more powdery. This one's less powdery, so not much coffee in here. Truthfully, this one's a little bit of a disappointment. Good thing I got a little bottle of that. Sable Fauve, big hit for me. So I know on Fragrantica it says it smells like black opium, but it does not. I hate black opium and I really like this. Then I did go ahead and get the Coco Mademoiselle L'Eau Privée Night Fragrance. This just came out this year. I was dying to try it because I love Coco Mademoiselle. The bottle is really beautiful. I love this frosted glass. It smells just like Coco Mademoiselle, but lighter and a little bit more citrusy, a little bit less complex. Not really much patchouli in here, if any at all. Like, I'm not really getting much patchouli, so if the patchouli in the original Coco Mademoiselle bothered you, you might still like this. It is quite light. For me, the original Coco Mademoiselle does last a long time, whereas this does not. I only got about 3 or 4 hours out of it. The original Coco Mademoiselle lasted me a good 8-9 hours, and the scent bubble for the original Coco Mademoiselle is noticeable. People pick it up, people compliment you. It's like, it has a great sillage, where this one, not as much. You do, like, it's meant to be worn in the evening, so you do have to come quite close to smell it. So I mean, am I disappointed in it? I'm not disappointed because I know that it's meant to be like a night version of Coco Mademoiselle, in the sense that you wear it in the evening, like a sleep fragrance, not like night in the sense of going out. So it's meant to be lighter, it's meant to be softer and stay closer to the skin. It's still the original Coco Mademoiselle scent, just a little bit simplified, a little bit more intro. So like, if you're just starting out and you want to smell something like Coco Mademoiselle, but maybe Coco Mademoiselle is just like too much for you, this one could be worth checking out. You would need to spray a lot of it for people to catch it on you. From my wearing it one time, that's like the feedback that I can give you, but I had to like reapply it 3 times that day. So I mean, it is what it is. It's what it's supposed to be. It's just as expensive, so I do kind of wish that it would last longer, because there's some days that I want to smell like Coco Mademoiselle, but I don't want to go like full out. I guess I just wish it was a little bit longer lasting. That, and projecting just a tiny bit more. Just a tiny bit. I don't need it to create a huge scent bubble, but I mean, in that sense, it's supposed to be weak, and it is weak, but I wish it wasn't so weak. I don't know if that's unreasonable. The next one is Girl of Now Shine. This one I snatched up at Shoppers Drug Mart, and they are everywhere, and I still see them. So definitely worth snatching this up for $20 at the Shoppers Drug Mart $20 rack. Like, they have some gems in there sometimes. I don't know why I have this OCD thing where if I'm not like actively using the fragrance, I like to keep it in the box. Am I the only one that's doing this? And is that weird? I've heard basically so much hype around Girl of Now, and I'm not a huge fan of sweet fragrances, and from what I gathered, Girl of Now is quite sweet, but I assumed that the Shine would be a lighter version of that. Am I right? Like, is the Shine a lighter, airier version of what the original Girl of Now is? Because if so, like, I would not want it to be sweeter than this. This is my boundary for sweetness and like candy-esque scent. Like, this is my max. Like, I don't want anything more sweet than this. So it's sweet and it's nice and it's nutty and candy-ish, and it kind of makes me think like candied almonds, and I know it's supposed to have pistachio, but I'm not really getting pistachio. I am getting a lot more almond. There's some like fruities in here, some little bit like tutti frutti vibe. I think it's supposed to have pineapple. I definitely get the pear. I'm not getting much of the pineapple. There is a powderiness, so when I wore it on the skin, I get the iris and I get the almond. And for a moment, I thought of Hypnotic Poison, but this doesn't have that Play-Doh-y thing that I don't like, so I do prefer this. They're not really similar. It just reminded me for a brief moment. I don't see myself reaching for this fragrance very much, but it is nice. I would probably recommend this to my sister who's 16. She might really like this, so I'll see what she thinks of it. But it's just not me. It's a nice fragrance. It's like, don't get upset, it's verging on generic for me. So for 20 bucks, I don't mind, but I would not want to pay more for it. I think the most I would want to pay for this is like maybe 40, maybe 50 if it was a gift for someone. Here's the thing too. I like sweet fragrances. I don't like candy-esque sweetnesses in fragrances, if that makes sense. So like, for example, the Velvet Teddy, I like it because it's very rich and it's not candy smelling. It's like a complex honeyed smell. I like the Sable Fauve that I just talked about from Yves Rocher because it has a depth to it and it doesn't smell like candy. I have, I think, a problem with smelling like candy and I don't like to. I also don't like to smell like something sweet that smells like something edible, which basically means I don't really like gourmand fragrances. That just happens to be my taste. So that's not to say they're bad fragrances. That's not to say I wouldn't like them on someone else. I just don't enjoy them on myself. That being said, let's move on. I have my Burberry blush. When I first tried it, I thought nothing of it and I was like, ah, whatever. Like, it's pretty generic, it's nice, but it's light, it's whatever. Like, it was so whatever to me. And I had sprayed it on a cashmere sweater and then I kept smelling it the next day. And this was definitely over a year ago. It was probably around the time that it came out. I kept smelling it on my cashmere sweater and like loving how it smelled, and it smelled so cozy and really like pretty. I was like, whatever, I'll get it when it's on sale because it just didn't seem unique enough. I happened to find this, someone was selling it on Kijiji and I got it for $40. And I kept thinking about it this whole time. Like, I kept thinking, oh, I like how it smells, I like how it smells, but I was being super stingy, honestly, and I didn't want to go and buy it, even like at a discount online fragrance shop. I didn't want to pay 60, 70 bucks for it. I don't know why. I guess it seemed too basic, but I got it finally, so it was worth the wait. I just love it. Like, I don't know what it is with this. I don't really like the original My Burberry, and I had the EDT and I just sold it because I just didn't enjoy it. Something was off about it on my skin, but this is perfect. I think it has peony in it, or like it's got a nice floral in there. I don't know, it just works. And you know what? The perfumer is Francis Kurkdjian, so it makes sense why I love it, because I tend to really enjoy all of his creations. It has a really nice fruitiness. It's really well balanced, and it's just my favorite from the My Burberry line. I also really like the My Burberry Elixir, which I have a little 30 ml bottle of, but I only wear that when it's really cold out because it is quite dense and rich and more of like an evening going out smell, whereas this is a perfect casual scent, and I don't get bored of it. Now, I have a whole bunch of goodies that I got from FRAGRANCYBUY.CA when they had their anniversary sale, and so I'm going to show you, and they sent me a couple of extra little goodies. We'll get into it. So for that anniversary sale, when I bought all of these, I noticed that they have these amazing like door crashers and rare fragrances that like you're limited to get one. So I went and I got the Bulgari Noir L'eau Esquisse. This, I almost dropped it, like I always do, in typical Yana fashion. I'm pretty sure this is a discontinued fragrance, and it's so beautiful, and it was 39 bucks. So you always have to keep an eye out when they have these like kick-ass door crashers, and you have to get them because a lot of the times it's something rare like this, and it came in a tester box. Obviously it was a tester, but oh my God, what a nice light jasmine scent. Citrusy, like very fresh, really, really pretty. And you know what? I think I've learned this year that I'm a huge fan of Bulgari fragrances. So whenever I get a chance to get one on sale, or if it's one that's discontinued, and even if it's expensive, but I know it's on its way out, they do tend to discontinue really great fragrances, and it's a shame. I'm pretty sure, and don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure this is discontinued, and I'm really happy to have the bottle. And yeah, they had it for 39 bucks, which is insane. Like, really great deal. So that's that. The other fragrance that I got from them that also is a tester is the Bulgari Omnia Crystalline. This one, when I looked up the notes, looked super promising because it has a lot of the same notes that fragrance that I really love, Fleur de Bamboo, this one has. There's tea, bamboo, lotus, I'm pretty sure there's musk, and just, it sounded really appealing to me. And it did not disappoint. This has a muskiness that's similar to the Narciso Essence in the silver bottle that I just talked about in my 10 out of 10 fragrances. It has a muskiness very similar to that, but it also has an aquatic touch, a beautiful lotus and tea. It's not green. It doesn't have that stem smell at all, which is something that bothers me in fragrances. This doesn't have that. It's just, it's fresh, it's clean, musky, and sexy and beautiful. And I've been wanting to get all of the Omnias because I got Green Jade, which is discontinued, fell in love with it, and am heartbroken that it's just so expensive now. Like, I'm sure there's something else, right? And I did notice that a lot of the Omnias do share some similarities. So I basically decided it's now my goal to collect them all. And so I have the original, I have this one, and I have the Green Jade, and I love it. It's so nice and clean. And like, I love a nice musky base like this one, like a nice clean white musk. There's some like tanginess in there as well, a little bit of woodiness. Very beautiful fragrance, honestly. So underrated. And obviously this is the eau de toilette. The eau de parfum has been discontinued. It is basically impossible to find as well. In typical Bulgari fashion, they discontinue the best ones. Oh well. But this one, like, seriously, get it on their Black Friday sale, which is coming up. Like, just get it. It was like 50 bucks. You cannot go wrong. This is probably the best gift idea that I can think of, like, right now. I'm like, oh my god, everybody would like this fragrance. Like, who wouldn't like this fragrance? Like, it's not insanely unique, but it is so darn pleasant. I just don't see anybody actually disliking it. And finally, I got Bendy Furiosa. I'll be honest, I bought it for the bottle. Because look, how, like, loud and gold is this? This looks like a golden tortoise, you know? Like a delicious ambery golden tortoise. The way that the cap pops off is just so fun. I'm gonna stop it. So I bought it for the bottle, but I was low-key worried that it would be a little bit too spicy. I do really enjoy Fendi fragrances, but I read that it's spicy, and I was like, oh, I don't know, like, it's edgy, it's spicy, I'm not sure. It's actually like tart and sweet. It kind of makes me think of sour plums. Have you guys ever had those Chinese dried up plums that are like dusted in like the sugary powder? They're tart and they're like kind of like really like tart but sweet. That's kind of that's what I get from this. But also when it settles, it's very rich and warm, and it starts to remind me a little bit of Marc Jacobs Decadence, except I hate Decadence, but I love this. It's quite loud, like it's quite extravagant. I haven't really smelled much else like this in the same vein, like I said, as Marc Jacobs Decadence, but that one, like, there's something that it's too sweet and it's too obnoxious for me. Like I can't wear that one. But this one I absolutely love, and I've only started seeing it recently online. It started like popping up just recently. Also 50 bucks, also totally worth it. There's a note of incense listed for this one. Don't get scared of that incense note if you're somebody that's not a fan of incense. I am not a fan of incense, and sometimes it can smell very antique-y. This, I hardly smell it at all, and if I didn't know there was incense in this, I would never pick it out. It's just a really nice, warm, sweet smell. There's a note of wallflower. Wallflower, as far as I know, doesn't have a smell, and that's just a fantasy note, to my knowledge. It's just a really cool, kind of like unique fantasy fragrance. Really cool. Probably more for evening time or going out or like special events, more so than like a daily wear, because it is pretty noticeable and it's pretty loud, but it's also just pretty. So then they also threw in, because of their anniversary sale, they always have these freebies and things that they throw in, like little perks. And I had a couple other samples, but I just found a Nishani one. I guess this is a new release. It's called Ege, and I had sprayed it once, and it's a really interesting salty aquatic scent from Nishani, which is such a good brand that I've been recently discovering. And then they also threw in this like home fragrance from L'Artisan Parfumeur. So yeah, you can totally see my ring light in the reflection. But yeah, really nice little surprise that came in the box. So that was for their anniversary sale, but now their Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale is coming up. And so that's from November, I believe, 26th to the 30th. It's buy one, get one, 25% off, and it's free shipping over $49. They're gonna have massive door crashers. They're gonna have, I'm pretty sure, these like freebies and samples and all of these things that they always launch during sales. And so the buy one, get one, as far as I know, is like unlimited. So let's say you buy 6, so 3 of those will be 25% off. Like obviously it's gonna be the one of the lowest value as always, but still a pretty sweet deal, and you guys definitely need to check them out. I do have a link for you guys in my description for $5 off your purchase if you haven't shopped with them before. Honestly, they're like quickly climbing up to the top of my like only store online that I shop at. And yeah, so check out the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale. This is my part 1 of 2 last haul of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.